Hey folks, General Stargazer here with an update on the Citadels. On the 26th of January 2016, CCP invited players to a mass test on Duality for the Citadels. Unfortunately, during the first part of this test, it had to be aborted due to problems arising on the server, so Citadels never really got tested. They then invited players back again on Friday, the 29th of January, where we got another look at the Citadel. There wasn't really a major difference between the 2 days of testing, except for on the second run, the extra large Citadel was manned and defended to a limited degree. I made this video just to outline some of the key points that I noticed during the mass test, and before I go any further, it should be noted that everything you see here is all work in progress and isn't final. So let's start off with the proverbial elephant in the room. Its size, unsurprisingly, it's quite big. The one we see here is the extra large Citadel, known as the Keepstar, and as you see as the video is on, there was a constant flow of capitals and super capitals docking and undocking from the station. One of the cool features we was told about was the multiple undock points, which you can see in the video. From what I can tell, there are multiple small ports on the front kind of bottom section of the structure, which allows for any sort of battleship and below size ships to undock from. There are also 4 slightly larger undock ports you can see on the front. These 4 undock points seem to be comfortably large enough to allow for carriers and dreadnoughts to be able to undock from. They actually seem to be reasonably sized so that like a NAG can come out in full size without some weird shrinking mechanic coming into play where it's able to come out of a hole that's actually smaller than the ship itself. And then above the sort of front middle section is kind of 3 channels, which you can see in the video. Super carriers and titans seem to be coming out of these. Speaking of docking, during the first test you could free fire immediately and then dock, which I'm presuming isn't a final feature, it's just a work in progress. During the first mass test, when you docked, the camera position was actually locked into the position you were looking at the Citadel when you clicked dock, so you could see what was going on outside from a fixed camera position. However, during the second mass test, we was told that if you enabled the new camera features in the beta options menu, you could freely move the camera around, which is what you see here. The limitations being that you have no overview, so you can't actually see which side the people outside are fighting on, but you can at least see outside. When you dock, you can see in the top right hand corner of the screen the ship you are flying, the name of the ship you are flying, the name of the Citadel you're in. You can then also select the options to undock or to take control. During both of the mass tests, devs had control of the Citadel, so we couldn't actually see any of the command and control functions. During the second mass test, as you can see in the video, one of the devs had fired off the AOE anti-battleship bombs, which do a significant amount of damage. As you notice a couple of times during the video, I lock the Citadel and there are 3 separate indicators around the targeting reticule for the structure. These are grey when the Citadel has full shield armor and hull. The indicators each independently slowly turn red as the Citadel takes more damage in these corresponding areas. Something else that changed during the 2 tests was the colouring and the model of the Citadel. Initially, as seen here, it was darker and there were less icons near the undock ports. During the second test, the structure seems to be a lot lighter but flatter, and there seems to be additional textures and icons floating around the undock ports. As you can see a couple of times again through the video, the Citadel is surrounded by a circular beacon of orange lights which pulse. Anything that is within the circle is considered 0 meters away from the Citadel and can dock. Both times the Citadels haven't been left up for long, as they have been destroyed at the end of the mass tests, normally within a couple of hours. They have both been detonated rather than just magically evaporated. We're assuming the explosion that you see in the video is a work in progress. That's all there is for now, and until next time, see you in space.